when I first got to the Hill, everybody was holding on to their bill as if it was their brand. And now there seems to be consensus that they don't care which bill gets advanced.
Whoever's got their name on it,
they're going to support it.
We got to figure
this
out.
Which I think is a major move as we're going into the midterms to see that, Hagerty and Toomey and Hildebrand, they're all pushing whatever one was going to go. And I think that's very bipartisan. I think you've been a big advocate for that. You've done a good job on that. I also believe that the one thing rule, just getting stablecoins done.
It's the lowest hanging fruit.
It's the lowest hanging fruit, but it would also signal to the rest of the crypto market, primarily the institutional investor market. I actually think that if you, and this is a speculation, that if you got this thing done with just stablecoins and you got it regulated, it would increase the value of a lot of different positions I have, including
I'm happy to hear that.
Because they would make the assumption, because we're stuck in a 17 to 22 range on Bitcoin, and we're never going to get out of that if we don't get institutional support. It's just going to sit there forever. It's not a bad outcome for miners of scale. They're getting awards at 7,000 to 8,000. They're trading them at 17 to 20, but it's really getting old. And it's losing its momentum as an idea because it can't seem to get anywhere.
Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary explains why the crypto market needs the support of policymakers to get out of its current rut. The investor also stated that if there are regulations for stablecoins, Bitcoin will break out of its current range and trade higher. According to him, if stablecoins should get support of U.S. policymakers, more institutional capital could come into crypto, pushing Bitcoin prices higher.
Again, speaking now as a crypto investor across many, many positions, I've got at least 40 different projects I'm an investor in because I believe in diversification. I don't know with certainty which ones are going to get traction. The ETH merge was a huge disappointment if you're an investor. I mean, you're down huge on that. And it has merit, but it's not what people thought it was going to be, and it's still misunderstood. But leaving that aside, where I see a lack of adoption now is because wallets are too complicated for the everyman.
Totally. Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
O'Leary also spoke about the decline in Bitcoin price, saying that this is due to the cryptocurrency losing momentum for adoption. There is fatigue in this market now, and there's a lack of adoption, and there's a lack of wallets, he said. Kevin O'Leary was an active critic of cryptocurrency in 2017, but according to him, he had to change his views when the clients started asking for it, and he saw the efficiency of stablecoins for international payments.
But there's a fatigue in this market now. And there's a lack of adoption, and there's a lack of wallets that we talked about. There's a lack of a lot of stuff. And it's really coming to the front now. People are saying, we got to break through this. It's like a giant logjam.
O'Leary hammered on the necessity of stablecoins regulation, saying, "We are in a difficult era now because we lack regulation."
Well, I'm often reminded that I was a vocal critic of crypto in 2017.
There's a clip of you and I actually on television.
You're correct. And that gets shoved in my face and in other orifices all the time. And but I change as my job as a fiduciary. So when rules change, I change. And I have to, because the people that I work with and for realize that there's tremendous opportunity in this space. And I have come to the realization, just on a categoric basis, that within a decade, this will be the 12th sector, the S&P, because it provides so much productivity, so much transparency, so much opportunity for all other sectors in terms of financial services, that it will find its place. We're in a difficult area now because we lack regulation. But my whole journey into it, particularly stable coins, is the frustration I have as an international investor in payment, in the absolute inefficiency and cost of moving money between geographies, which I do every day. And I've detailed many catastrophes where I'm transferring capital and it gets lost for 48 hours, or it gets lost over a weekend, or I can't find what happened to it for 3 or 4 hours, and I can't close transactions. And it turns out that banks were never good at this, and they're still not good at it.
He added that Bitcoin would remain stuck in the 17K to 22K range unless there is institutional support. But this institutional support can only come in if stablecoins are regulated. He added that regulators for stablecoins are currently in the works and will soon be ready at the federal level. According to him, the Federal Reserve should be the one to regulate stablecoins.
Very much like to use it for reasons of all those, plus the efficiency of moving it. So, you know, something very important happened last week when Jamie Dimon on the Hill, a manager I have ultimate respect for. I'm an investor in his company, as every fiduciary is. It's a 5% weighting in any index fund. It is the best managed financial services company in the world, one can argue. When he actually, there's no better words than to say, took a shit on crypto in front of every legislator, which was a huge disservice, but also a wake-up call to make it blatantly obvious that he was talking his own book. He can't do what you can do, and he knows that. And at some point, he's going to realize that because his clients are going to say, I want to use that service. Right. Maybe in conjunction with what I do with you, but they're just better at what they do in a payment system. To me, it was a turning point because we're kind of at a low on legislation. I know you're working hard along with others, along with me. There's private investors that go to the Hill. I'm one of them. I mean, when are we going to get some policy on this? Because it was a story 36 months ago that everybody understood we had to wait. But now it's becoming apparent that we're falling behind as an economy on this.
O'Leary also talked about adoption and how the complex nature of wallets has limited adoption. He added that he has now seen the wealth of opportunities in the sector. He continued that the crypto markets would be massive within the next decade due to the sector's high productivity, transparency, and opportunities compared to other financial services.
You've got a turf war going on here, and who's going to regulate this? Is it the Fed? Is it the SEC or another agency? Who should regulate? Let's just stay on stablecoin, the one thing that would make sense to go first, because we're not going to save every token here. We're not going to have a blanket bill for everything. Stablecoins could be very useful right now, and who should regulate it?
Kevin also believes that for the next wave of adoption, there is a need to focus on user experience and safety. The crypto of it has to go into the background, he said. So, do you agree with Kevin O'Leary's approach towards Bitcoin and stablecoin adoption? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.